My stepmother told me the DeLuca family had come with a marriage proposal. She sat in the Hart Estate's first-floor parlor, holding a cup of black tea, smiling like the Madonna in a stained-glass church window. But I knew she wasn't a saint. She was the kind of person who held a knife and still pretended to be merciful.
Evelyn, your sister is engaged to the Grainsons. This match can only fall to you.
An excellent match. In the entire New York Mafia circle, who didn't know what had happened to the DeLuca heir? Nico DeLucci. 3 years ago, he had been the youngest and sharpest successor on the East Coast. At 19, he took over the port line. At 21, he led men to purge traitors in Queens. At 22, he was shot and his mind was ruined. Now, all he could do was smile foolishly. They said he chased butterflies, mistook bullets for candy, and called everyone pretty. No truly powerful family was willing to marry their daughter into that. So they found me, the Hart family's illegitimate daughter. A surplus existence. My mother dead, my father indifferent. My stepmother disgusted, my sister ready to step on me at any moment. I lowered my gaze and said nothing. My stepmother's hand pressed down on the back of mine, her nails slowly digging into my skin. She kept smiling, but her voice turned cold.
Evelyn, the Hart family has raised you for 22 years. You should understand how to repay us.
Repay? I almost laughed out loud. The year my mother died, I was 10. She had a fever for 3 days. My stepmother blocked the doctor from coming, saying a mistress of no standing wasn't worth troubling the family physician. I knelt by the bed, watching my mother's hands grow colder and colder. That day, the Hart estate was no longer my home. I lived in the coldest attic, wore Sophia's cast-off clothes, and ate whatever scraps were left in the kitchen. My stepmother said an illegitimate daughter should know her place, and now, she wanted repayment. I lifted my eyes and looked at her. I'll marry. She froze for a moment. My voice was flat. But I have one condition.
Say it.
I'm taking Martha with me, and my medicine kit. My stepmother looked as if she'd heard a joke.
Martha? That old maid? And those useless herbs of yours?
Yes. She waved her hand dismissively.
Do as you like.
I stood up and gave her a slight nod. Then from today on, I owe the Hart family nothing. The smile on her face stiffened. I didn't look at her again. As I stepped out of the parlor, the maid Lena ran after me, her eyes red.
Miss, are you really gonna marry him? He's an idiot.
I paused and looked out the window. The lawn was perfectly trimmed. A white marble angel stood beside the fountain. But the place felt colder than a grave. I said softly, marrying an idiot is still better than staying here and waiting to die. On the day of the wedding, the DeLuca motorcade blocked the entire street. Black Rolls Royces line up one to another, silver familyed on their hoods. I had thought they would send just a single car to take me away. After all, I was only the Hart family's illegitimate daughter, but they gave me the most formal procession. A black carpet stretched from the estate entrance all the way to the car. 12 bodyguards stood in 2 lines, all lowering their heads in respect. My stepmother's expression was as ugly as if she had swallowed shards of glass. Sophia stood at the top of the stairs in a champagne-colored gown. Her gaze moved from my wedding dress to the motorcade, then to the guns at the guards' waists, her jealousy impossible to hide. As I passed her, she whispered, "What's there to be proud of, marrying an idiot?" I stopped and looked back at her. At least his family is willing to take me through the front door. Sophia's face went pale. I lifted my skirt and stepped into the wedding car. The moment the door closed, I watched the Hart estate recede behind the darked glass. There was no reluctance, only a sense of relief, like finally leaving a cage. The DeLuca estate stood on the north shore of Long Island, gray-white stone walls, wrought iron gates, and the distant sea wind carrying a sharp, salty chill. When the car stopped, the main gates were already wide open. A hand suddenly reached out in front of me. It was clean, with long fingers, but the web between thumb and index finger was thick with calluses. I hesitated for a moment, then I heard an excited voice.
Darling!
I looked up and saw Nico DeLuca. He wore a white suit, his tie slightly crooked, his eyes bright like a child's. When he saw me, he broke into a wide, toothy grin.
Darling is so pretty!
Laughter rippled through the guests.
Such a shame. That face and a ruined brain.
The Harts are ruthless, sending their illegitimate daughter to be a living widow.
I stood still, but Nico seemed not to hear any of it. He grabbed my wrist tightly, as if afraid I might run.
Darling, don't go.
I looked down at his hand. It was warm. I won't. He immediately beamed.
Darling promised! Darling won't go!
The guests laughed even louder. But I didn't. Because suddenly, I felt that this so-called fool was more human than every so-called sane person in the Hart family.
The wedding ceremony was a mess from start to finish. The priest had barely reached the middle of his votes when Nico leaned in and lifted my veil. Before I could react, he had already ducked underneath it, his eyes shining as he looked straight at me.
Darling is so pretty.
Another wave of laughter rippled through the guests. The dowager of the Dagoka family sat in the front row, a black cane resting in her hand, her expression unreadable. She was Nico's grandmother, and the one who truly held power in the DeLuca family now. I had thought she would look down on me, but after the ceremony, she simply walked over, took out a ruby brooch, and pinned it onto my wedding dress.
From today on, you are the young mistress of the DeLucci family.
Her voice wasn't loud, yet it silenced everyone around us.
Anyone who bullies you is bullying the DeLucas.
I froze. Since my mother died, no one had ever acknowledged my place so formally.
Thank you.
Don't thank me. Just stay alive.
After the wedding event, I was sent to Nico's room. It was large, with the sea stretching right outside the floor-to-ceiling windows. I stood there when I heard the door open behind me. Nico rushed in, arms full of things, jewelry boxes, silk scarves, candy, even a small wooden horse. He dumped everything onto the bed and looked at me proudly.
For darling.
I looked at the pile of random items and couldn't help asking,
Where did all these come from?
Grandma's room.
My expression changed instantly.
You can't just take the dowager's things.
He shook his head immediately.
Grandma said I can. Grandma said her things will all be darlings from now on.
After saying that, he rummaged through a box, pulled out a pink Turbolone's bracelet, and clumsily fastened it around my wrist.
Darling's skin is white. This looks good.
I lowered my gaze to the bracelet. Under the light, the beads glowed softly. At the Hart house, I had never worn anything like this. Sophia said it was ridiculous for an illegitimate daughter to wear jewelry. My stepmother said I didn't deserve it.
And now, a man everyone called a fool was piling the best things he could get right in front of me. I reached up and straightened his crooked tie.
Thank you. Nico's smile widened. Then he suddenly did a clumsy somersault on the carpet.
Darling not angry, darling likes!
He startled me, and yet I couldn't help the slight curve of my lips. On our wedding night, Nico slept on the sofa in the outer sitting room. I had expected him to make a fuss.
Darling, can I sleep here?
You can.
If bad guys come, I protect darling.
I thought it was just foolish talk, until the middle of the night, when thunder woke me. I opened my eyes and found that, at some point, he had climbed onto the bed. He was holding me tightly, as if I were the only lifeline he had. I tried to push him away, but in his sleep, his brows were tightly nunt, and he murmured,
Don't shoot.
My hand stopped. Thunder rolled outside the window. His body was tense, drawn tight like a bowstring stretched to its limit. I looked at his quiet face. In that moment, he didn't look like a fool. He looked like someone trapped in a nightmare he couldn't escape. The next morning,
Sophia came to see me on the third day after my wedding. She wore a red suit, a full set of diamond jewelry around her neck, her gaze sweeping across my room the moment she stepped inside. When she saw the jewelry boxes on the table, her expression stiffened, just for a second. Then she smiled.
Looks like the DeLuca family hasn't treated you badly.
I sat by the window, sipping tea.
Not bad.
She sat down, picked up a cup, her tone deliberately light. But marrying an idiot? What's the point of all that jewelry?
I didn't answer. From the garden came Nico's voice.
Darling! Darling, look at me!
The next second, he burst into the room, holding a large bunch of wild flowers. There was still dirt on them. He didn't even glance at Sophia. He ran straight to me.
Darling, I picked the reddest ones.
Sophia recoiled in disgust. A bit of mud splashed onto her heels. Her face tightened.
Mr. Nico really is childlike.
Nico suddenly turned to look at him. The smile vanished from his face.
You're not allowed to laugh at Darling.
What? Nico stepped in front of me, spreading his arms as if to shield me.
You just said Darling was bad.
To be contradicted in public by someone she considered a fool made Sophia's expression turn ugly. She let out a cold laugh. I'm just concerned about my sister.
Darling doesn't need your concern. Darling has me.
I looked at his broad back, and something inside me shifted, just a little. Sophia stood up, forcing her smile back into place. It seems my sister is doing very well here. That puts me at ease.
She walked toward the door, then added in a low send,
Marrying an idiot? This is as far as you'll ever go.
I set down my teacup. Dear sister. She turned back. I looked at her and smiled faintly. Next time you visit, wear shoes that don't mind a little mud.
Sophia left with a livid expression. Nico turned back to me, looking nervous.
Darling, not angry?
I looked at the messy bouquet in his hands.
Not angry.
He let out a breath of relief and shoved the flowers into my arms.
I didn't smile, but I kept the flowers. A few days later, Sophia came again.
Evelyn, the Graysons want to secure a shipping permit from the DeLuca ports. Could you mention it to the Dowager for me?
I looked at her and suddenly remembered something from years ago. I had a fever and wanted to see the family doctor. Sophia had sat on the staircase, swinging her legs, and said,
"You're just an illegitimate daughter. Don't act like you're one of us."
And now she sat in my living room, asking me to speak for her husband.
I set my cup down. Dear sister, I'm just an illegitimate daughter who married an idiot. What influence could I possibly have in the DeLuca family? Sophia's face went pale instantly. Of course she recognized her own words.
I stood up. Lena, see her out. Sophia clenched her teeth.
Evelyn, don't forget, you're a heart!
I paused. I turned back to look at her. No. From the day I married into this family, I am a Darola. She had nothing left to say.
I realized something was wrong with Nico because of the herb garden.
That day, I came back from the backyard and saw the dried herbs completely wrecked. The medicine chest had been knocked over. Bottles and jars were scattered everywhere.
Nico was crouched in the middle of the mess, holding a piece of Wang Chin, about to stuff it into his mouth.
Stop!
I rushed over and grabbed his hand. He looked up, smiling innocently.
Darling, is this grass bitter?
I took a deep breath. This isn't grass, it's medicine.
What's medicine?
It's used to save people.
Then will Darling save me?
I looked into his eyes. They were clear, bright, like he truly didn't understand anything. All the irritation in my chest suddenly had nowhere to go. I crouched down and began picking up the herbs one by one. After a moment, he quieted and crouched beside me. He scooped up dirt and roots together and held them out to me.
Darling, don't be mad.
I looked at his dirty hands and suddenly remembered a stray dog I had as a child.
Whenever I cried, it would bring me random things and drop them at my feet. I said softly, "Thank you."
He smiled immediately. But as I sorted the medicine chest, I noticed a piece of paper slip out from a hidden compartment. There was only one sentence on it. The banquet will change. The mole has not been cleared. My fingers stilled. This wasn't something a fool would have. I folded the paper and slipped it back into the compartment. That night, for the first time, I carefully went over everything that had happened since the wedding. The calluses on Nico's hand, the words he murmured in his.
Don't shoot.
The old gardener who came to deliver vegetables, standing like a trained soldier.
And the way the Dowager looked at Nico. There was no pity, only expectation. It suddenly hit me. Maybe the entire DeLuca family was putting on an act, and I was the only one being kept in the dark. The day before the family banquet, I brought Nico some calming tea.
He was sitting on the carpet, playing with a Rubik's Cube, unable to solve it. No matter how hard he tried, I crouched in front of him.
Nico, I need to tell you something.
Darling, tell.
Tomorrow at the family banquet, no matter what happens, don't leave my side, not even for a moment.
Why?
Because there will be bad people.
For a split second, his expression changed, very brief. So brief it could have been my imagination. Then he reached out and touched my face.
Darling scared?
My breath hitched. It wasn't a question. It was a statement.
I took his hand. Yes, I'm scared. He stuffed the Rubik's Cube into my palm.
Darling, don't be scared. I protect Darling.
In that moment, I couldn't tell whether he was truly a fool or simply pretending too well. But I still nodded. All right?
You protect me.